has stepped away for a moment. Steve Monteghetti back in the booth. This race has got a lot to live up to.
Oh, has it ever? Am I a little bit excited to have such a quality field? And we have seen some amazing racing today, and we're about to see some more. With there's a lot happening out here. It is all happening. To quote a famous commentator, it is all happening out here at Bathurst. The humidity has gone through the absolute roof, so it's going to be tough out there, and we're going to have some great racing as well as tough conditions, tough course, changeable conditions. I think we're probably going to see, and some unbelievable racing. How will they approach so many variables, Matt? I don't know, but we're about to see it.
122 athletes are going to test this out. 5 laps, 10 kilometres, and they've just seen... It's going to be hard for the Ethiopian male athletes out here just to see what happened to one of the stars, and obviously a friend, a teammate in the last straight.
Yeah, you put that out of your mind, you know, you're aware of it and you deal with it, and then you kind of go, okay, right, now once you're on the start line, you process that, you move on to your race, and, you know, you're hoping everything's okay and you're sensitive to it, but, you know, that's after their race now, so back on the job.
Yeah, I think once they step out onto that start line, and it'll be all business.
Indeed, yeah, and, you know, they've got a lot confronting them as well, but, you know, they're professional athletes, and they'll deal with these conditions because, you know, this is nothing. They will have experienced these conditions and this environment before. It's now who uses the course and the conditions to the best advantage.
Let's hope we get this race at least a couple of laps in before the storm comes. You'll see some shots in the background of that big thunderstorm making its way through.
I'm hoping they run very fast,
so,
much faster
sure they
than
do
the
as well. Yeah.
Yes.
So this race has been
closing.
Yeah, it's been brought early, so really trying to get it done about 20 minutes earlier than the original start time. So I hope you weren't setting your clock, because we want to get this done. We've got to make sure they're all done tonight.
And I was fortunate enough to just sneak around the Australian camp, and they were, you know, it's unusual to bring a race 20 minutes forward, but they'll cope with it. They'll be fine.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to introduce you to all the favourites to the Senior Men's World Championship.
So we have the 6 outstanding athletes here. First, Solomon Barega from Ethiopia. He's the Tokyo Olympic 2021 10,000 metre champion. Next to him, Jacob Kiplimo, world champion, world record holder for the half marathon. He was second in Aarhus. He did the double at the Com Games, 5 and the 10. We're trying to get up into that gold medal position this year. The 2 next to him, though, Jeffrey Camel War. He won 2 in a row. He went Kampala. He won Aarhus. He was 3rd last year. Rodrigo Kwizera from Burundi. He's the 2021-22 World Cross Country Tour winner. Now he's got the talent, but the man next to him, Joshua Cheptegei, the defending champ, world record holder for the 5 and the 10, reigning Olympic champ for the 5. Last time he was in Australia at the Com Games, he took home some gold medals. And we go to the Australian Trials winner, Jack Rayner, the Oceania record holder for the 10,000 metres. He's going to lead a very hopeful Aussie contingent as the rest of the athletes make their way up to the start line.
Great reception for Jack as well. Good crowds out here today.
This is a big field. 122 athletes on the start line. 5 laps, 10 kilometres.
Go Rayner! Let's go Rayner! Up the
And we're off and racing the final event here for the World Cross Country Championships. And this is an absolute terror up the hill. It's like one of the Japanese athletes making those early moves up this hill.
Must be a strategy of the Japanese today. I think they all look like they want to be pretty aggressive early.
And it is Hattori making his way straight to the front.
Not sure this is a course to attack early, just quietly, and we've probably seen that. It's been there's been some tough people crossing the finish line. It's, you know, there's certainly people who have really given their all today, and we've seen people really struggle with this course and conditions. So you've got to measure your run. Technical course, 5 laps. Gee, they'll know this course pretty well by the end of their journey, that's for sure. And certainly this first lap, you know, try and keep out of trouble, keep pretty clean, check. You think you know the course, but you never know it as well as when you're on it race day.
Well, that's it. Like, they've done their training runs, but they've never done it with another 122 guys all going full pelt.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And no one has, so we really don't know how this is going to unfold. So you want to just be relaxed. If something happens, you just got to deal with it early and not let it affect the outcome.
So Samuel Corbett leading this field at the moment. Ugandans have been at the front of the pack nearly every single race. They love taking those first few laps, and like you say, get out there in front early and have some free running.
They do,
away from the group.
It's kind of how I just sense this. I don't think there'll be as big a groups in this event. I reckon they'll put the pressure on a little bit early. I think first couple of laps just settle in, but I think we'll see some pretty decisive moves through the middle. I'm not sure why. I just feel that they've sort of seen what's happened, and I don't think they probably want to leave it quite as long.
No, so Corbett, he was 9th in the under-20 race in Aarhus back in 2019. He got 3rd at the trials. That's him just on the right-hand side, but they are really strung out already.
And often you will use that as a form line.
Yeah.
You know, but, you know, 2019, it's almost like, you know, it's an age ago now, because obviously we've had a pandemic in between. So, you know, we won't know a lot of form line on how the juniors transition to the seniors, but normally the Africans make a pretty good jump up. So
Corbett out in front right now. It looks like Kiplimo might just be on the outside as well. The South Africans, there's Rayner from Australia. The Australian kit really does stand out there. As they get to the Billabong, you can see Kiplimo having a big spill.
And Jack out wide to Kai Robinson there also out. I don't think we lost anyone, but it's boggy in there.
I feel like you don't want to be still turning the corner when you hit the Billabong. That's what I'm noticing. Kiplimo did very well to stay vertical, but he put that left foot in and nearly skated halfway across.
Yeah, I think it's got a bit boggier out there, and it's if you're forced to take a line that you don't want to take, then the outcome could be ugly. But they look like they've all got through okay. And then first time up this hill in the Boomerang, and we're already seeing them sort themselves out a lot more. I think we'll see what happens at the Vineyard. See if we get people. Can we get people through the Pinot Noir?
No one's done it yet. No one's gone that far to the left, and I think with a field of 122, this is our only chance to see it.
Yes, we want the Pinot. We've got to get the Pinot on the scorecard today. We're certainly getting this changeable weather coming through. You'll see. Oh, there we go.
That's Rayner going through. Looks like he's going through the Chardonnay. And he's picked up about 7 spots.
Yep, there you go. Good move. Experience.
The only one to do it in that whole group.
I'm very surprised by that.
Yeah.
There
we go. This is South African.
And I think we'll see that used a bit more in the latter laps. But there is a real storm brewing here. There's changeable conditions. This is really throwing the signage around. This course is quite protected, to be honest, Matt. So I don't think it'll actually affect the runners personally, but certainly affecting us. Well,
our commentary tent is getting smashed. I hope they weighted it down pretty well. There is the only thing that might be an issue is the dust and the grass that's getting blown around. Yeah, well, it could affect that chicane area. Maybe might have been impacted, but I'm sure those tyres are stacked up, but I'm sure they'll be okay. I hope they're heavy. I hope they're heavy and weighed down. There's a couple of spike bags and bin liners that are doing a few cyclones around, but this is, they're going to be very protected. As soon as they come into Mountain Straight, that's actually going to be a headwind going up through the tyres. It is. So that will add just an extra complexity to the lap. But as I say, they're out. They're in racing mode. They'll be fine. This is not affecting them. We've just got to lock it all in. There's definitely a lot clearer air in this event than we've seen in the 4 events we've had earlier today. So leading that field, we just saw him coming through. That's the Kenyan, Kibblewat Candy. He was third at the trials. He's the national record holder over the half marathon. Did it in Valencia. He used to have the world record until Kip Lemo, who's a couple of strides behind him, took it off him.
Yeah, road racing, pretty good form line, but I think the track form often translates to cross country slightly better than the half and full marathon. But yeah, certainly the Ugandans again very aggressive, which is good to see. You know, we want to get this race, you know, really clicking along early.
Got a bit of a break here. It's a different Kibet. It's Isaac Kibet. He was second at the trials. He was a 60-minute half man. They're already going for the drinks. Only 2Ks in, so it's Isaac Kibet. And it's Samuel Kibet.
I wouldn't read too much into this. I just like that at least they're trying to be a bit more aggressive earlier in this race, but I think this is still just finding each other, testing the waters a bit.
You look a little bit deeper, Kip Lemo and Cheptegei, they're sitting in 20th and 21st.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, hopefully they're not too worried, but yeah, normally you'd want to be a bit more prominent, but that's interesting. That good on you, well spotted, Matt. That surprises me, because if something happens here, we know this course is so technical. If someone goes, you know, you're going to have a bit of trouble closing that gap. I'm sure they're not panicking. It's early days yet, they're fine. But
yeah, it is.
We saw experienced athletes. I'm not going to tell them it's not a good tactic. I'm sure they know what they're doing, but that's unusual.
Well, it's not like Guido was doing that in the women's race, but it was a much smaller pack.
Yeah, and these are quality athletes, so you've got to respect the people you're running. I know, you know, they'll just turn it on the gas when they need to. I'm sure they're travelling comfortably, but yeah, it's probably... I always like to be in the middle of the pack. You know, you don't want to be in the danger zone. The danger zone is, you know, in the back 3 or 4, and if you're in that, you know, I start thinking, well, okay, am I not having a good day today? Is this pace going to ease up and I can relax a bit, or am I going to drop off?
Well, the thing is, you don't want to get stuck behind someone who's fading.
That's right.
When there's a move made.
That's right.
And you've only got so many chances to, you know, make a move around, to kick, to try and catch up. And you can see they have got themselves attached to the back. That's the 2 Ugandan athletes at the back with the 3 at the front. I think it's Tuame from Ethiopia just on the outside. Mogos Tuame was 4th at the trials. That's him just on the right-hand side, just behind Samuel Kibet. Kiprotich up there as well. He was the trial winner for Uganda.
And 4 Ugandans, top 5, then a massive Kenyans and Ethiopians. The Ugandans they've got 6 in the top 15 or 17 there, I reckon, Matt. So
well, and it's the 2 stars are the ones at the back.
Yeah,
they're the 5th and 6th Ugandans.
So I wonder, that could be a tactic. They could be saying, well, you know, we'll go out hard and set it up for you guys later, because this is a tough course. So it could be a team tactic.
See Aragawi just easing his way through there, the first at the trials. He's the world record holder for the road 5K, 12:49 man on the road. He's got a bit of speed on the legs. It looks like Tuame might have found himself in the lead. Again, this is where we've seen a lot of the moves made, and shouldn't be too worried about Kip Lemo and Cheptegei. They're just easing their way around the outside. Switching places with the other 2 Ugandans at the moment. So we've got 4 Ugandans at the back. Kip Lemo just in front, Cheptegei just a stride behind him. One of the Americans is up in this front group as well. I haven't caught his name yet. I'll try and see when he comes through. It's Emmanuel Bohr. So Bohr doing well, the first of the Americans.
Here we go into the vines, the winery section, and all choosing that first lane. And that single file, well, basically single file. If you need to pass there, you can pass one, but certainly all choosing that faster, shorter route.
Now I think once this race is all like this, unless someone wants to kick there and not let anyone know that they're kicking, that's the only time you're going to use the other aisle, I think, today.
I think so.
Yeah. Sneak
around,
yeah,
get away. But,
that's a big move up the vineyards.
It's interesting because coming out of that winery is the significant hill. So I think it's difficult to really make a move there. It looks, from history would show us today, that they're really waiting to this fast section of the course before they make a move. And looks like it's tough out as we see, look at that wind really gusting through the course there.
It is unreal, and that's the highest point of the course, so it should be the windiest section. It's kind of where the storm is coming through. This is a little bit protected, but when they come out of this chute here, straight downhill, they'll get a big tailwind.
I do feel like the temperature has dropped a bit, so they will welcome that. It's not that really strong direct sunlight, so that certainly will help it be a bit more comfortable. But still sort of looking like they're just in training pack mode at the moment.
So the reigning champion, Cheptegei on the right-hand side. Benio, second at the trials. Saw him just tuck in there. Campbell, two-time winner. He actually won a world title every year from 2014 to 2018. He did not win a title. He won 3 half marathon titles and 2 world cross country
titles.
He did
not win a title, I think. Did you say he did
I
not
think
win?
double negative.
No, I know what you mean.
He won a title every year. There we go.
Right. Yes. So he's a winner, which I really like on this course because I sense that we've had people who have got proven winning ability are winning today.
This bit here is they're going straight headfirst into the headwind as they come up this chicane section.
And you can see Jack Rayner head down, ducking in behind someone, maybe getting a little bit of protection. This is where you're kind of in your own zone, but you're looking up to see that person directly in front of you. Going for water, so it's obviously still quite steamy out on course.
Kwizera from Burundi, we mentioned earlier in the intros, just off the back of that group. So it's Ethiopia, Kenya, Uganda, and a lone Burundian right at the back there. Kwizera, the cross-country tour champion.
Look how relaxed his style is. Gee, he just looks like he's out on a Sunday morning run.
He does look very, very comfortable.
Very relaxed.
So Kiprotich is leading them through at the moment. Martin Kiprotich, again a trial winner. He's got a 28-20 road 10K, 13-21 on the track. He was 9th in the 5K in Nairobi World Under-20 Championships. Tourmay just there as well. Looks like maybe just behind them. Just trying to get that other Ethiopian on the outside. Because Halimari Amare just on the outside of Amare.
Just like in the Kenyans are just moving up a little bit. I think they've realised, you know, this is a significant section. If you get around this bend, you know, we've spoken about the difficulties coming out of the bend through the Billabong and up the hill. So see if something happens here. It is going to happen. I'm not sure when, but it'll be this is where we know the course is, and they've done it a couple of times now. They're starting to lap runners, so it'll get a bit technical in this next section.
So we've just seen, I think we've gone back a few people there, yes. So
there's Jack.
This is that chase pack from that front group. So Rayner's in there as well. Kyle Robertson doing well as well. He's close to the top 10 at the recent NCAA champs. He was the highest finisher for Australia at the Comp Games in the 10,000 metres.
Ran unbelievably well in the 10K at Birmingham.
It's his debut year in the senior ranks, so he's doing fantastic. He's over in Stanford at the moment, so he's made the trip back. But Kiprotich leading that way. It's Roger Cabat on the outside. He was 4th at the trials. He was 5th place at the World Under-20 champs last year in both the 3,000 and the 5,000. Fantastic cross-country runner.
Interesting. Is that Cheptegei, I think, go from the right-hand side or the left-hand side of the course to the right-hand side of the course almost directly. So he knows where he wants to be leading into the Billabong.
I was going to say, I think they've probably got their favourite line at the moment now by the time they get here. So that's Cheptegei just on the outside. Tourmay getting back out to the front again. He's the 2022 African champ over the 10,000 metres. Benio still in that picture as well. He was 2nd at their trials. He was 2nd at Comp Games in the 10K behind Kip Limo. So he'll be out for a bit of vengeance as well. Campbell, the 2-time champion, back up at the front as well.
Yeah, they know each other now. I think they're starting to settle. The pre-race favourites all prominent now on this significant part of the course. So we're probably about halfway, I would think, aren't we, Matt, to give people at home some perspective. 2.5 laps
The Billabong is about the 1K split area. Yeah.
So, you know, you start thinking we're getting into the business end. Once you get through 3 laps, you're over halfway home. So I think they'll start starting to get into their racing.
And we see Cheptegei talking about winners getting to the front. He was 20th only a lap ago.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, we've got to get this done. So Cheptegei leads through the vineyards. Then it's Campeonato. So that's first and third for the last championships. Candy just behind them as well. And Abenyo. Kiplimo sitting in about 7th to 8th position.
Still okay, I think. Yeah, he doesn't look stressed. This is the tough part of the course, that last little kick up.
Oh, that's a wild little hill.
It is. It's the one on the course, deceptive and hardest part of the course.
It's different if you're on the right-hand side or the left-hand side. One's steeper than the other.
I was on the right-hand side, don't worry. I was got a little, it's almost like getting a lift up.
Well, I was walking, so I had a good long look at it. I got to see it a fair bit.
And now starting to just notice runners struggling, Kip Career there, just working off that lead pack. It's difficult. Once you drop off mentally now, it's quite challenging.
They want to try and stay attached to that front group for as long as possible. They're averaging just under 3-minute kilometres at the moment in these tough conditions, which is just flying.
It's phenomenal on this course. This is probably the toughest cross-country course World Cross Country's ever seen, and this the 44th edition.
Well, you've done 11 of them.
I've done 11, so I'm a pretty good judge, and this is brutal. So don't underestimate it. I'm not sure we can give you the perspective, the depth of these, the ups and downs on this course. There are no flat sections. It is all up or all down.
It is unbelievable. And Abenyo just makes a quick little move around that corner. And someone we haven't mentioned is the 10K champ from Tokyo Olympics, Barega. He's just been quietly sitting at the back as much as he can. You can see he's just pop his head out the side there in that single file of Ethiopians at the back of that chase group.
Good finisher as well, so he's in the mix. He's there. He's certainly not wanting there with this really quick downhill finish. So they're all winners in this lead pack. It's hard to. I just don't. I'm not sure. It will be a kick finish. I think we've probably seen that today, but I think it'll be down to 3 or 4 in that kick finish, and we've still got 10 or 12 in this lead pack. So they're going to have to get rid of a couple on this lap.
Yeah, that was a good look at Sebastian Sawe, who was first in the Kenyan trials there. Just at the back of the group of Ethiopians. I saw Cheptegei take a look over his shoulder just to check where Kiplimo, his teammate, was.
Yeah.
Obviously, they want to try and repeat their 1-2 finish. Look like Aragawi just asking to the crowd, we've got 2 more to go? Yes, we do have 2 more to go.
Well, I suppose that means he's focused. I'm not sure, but I think I'd be pretty sure I know.
Some deep breaths there from Amare, just on the back, really sucking them in. The thing that with this wind has kicked up is a lot of dust and there's a lot of debris in the air. It's so strong, they've actually had to change the finishing chute that had a lot of sponsorship on it. Even the weights couldn't hold them down.
Yeah. That's that gusty wind and might just hit you from unpredictably.
Bit of support from the crowd here.
It is downhill. He's keeping up, but it is downhill. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
Taking a shortcut. He's not keeping up now, is he?
No, that's the end of his day. Oh, he sprinted. He's trying, but one for the selfies, for the record books.
The team medal, though, still up for grabs between the Ethiopians and the Kenyans. Kenyans very prominent at the front of the pack, but there's a lot more Ethiopians in there. So Campeonato Candy gets out to the front as well now. Kibawat Candy, third at the trials. He was third in Birmingham in the 10,000 metres. So a lot of these guys have raced each other quite recently over 10,000 metres in Birmingham at the Comp Games.
They have. I think we're about to see some spacing. I reckon we're about to drop a couple. I reckon this is crucial. So through this next Billabong and up the hill, I think we might get down to a smaller pack and then they might settle again before they really get into the racing for the medals.
Well, this will be 1.5 laps to go once they get through the Billabong. We'll have a good look at the splits as they come through. Barega just dropping off the back a little bit. The toolmate. The Burundian still looks pretty good. Kibawat Candy taking the lead. Camera Cheptegei on the left-hand side. Kip Limo. Aragawi in the picture there at the back. The rain starting to come down now.
And they're working hard. They're really digging up this hill. This is really testing. This is the early test to see who's on today. We're down. We're all, well, we'll say 6, but I think it's 5.
Yeah, looks like Amari was really sucking them in before, just off the back. It's Candy Camera to 7 seconds back to Quizera and Sarway. I think Amari might have been just off the back there. Aragawi, the lone Kenyan now in this front group. So Benyo just off the back. Camera. Candy leading the way through.
Here we go through that line section. Cheptegei looks very focused. I'm really thinking, he's starting to think, well, I've got a race on my hands today. When are we going to go? When are we going to make the decisive move? Probably doesn't need to lead. He does like running from the front, let's be honest. So you can control it. As we know, this course favours front running. Kip Limo, Cheptegei, Camera. I think
well, our first 3.
We don't want to pick our 3 medalists, but they're
that's the
hot.
first 3 from Arles right now.
Right there, they're hot.
Front.
They've been there, they've done it.
Well, they've dropped Candy off the back. And Aragawi's made a move up there. About to hit a big breeze, and we might see a small gap. We'll see what happens in this downhill section as Kibawat Candy just comes around that corner. He's starting to lose touch, so...
Yeah, we haven't seen them close on this course, Matt.
No.
It's not a course to close down, even though we do see a steep downhill and up. I figure once you drop, you drop.
So Cheptegei and Kip Limo, the Ugandans. Maybe a Benyo might be just dropping off the back as Aragawi on the left-hand side and Camera. This is going to be a fantastic race here. See who can take the medals. Who's going to take this turn the easiest? Cheptegei moves out wide. Aragawi snuck up the inside. He's found himself in second place, 4th to 2nd.
Perfect.
This is like Bathurst 1000.
It is, yep. Late braking in that corner, and he got out quickly.
Took the inside driving line and he got through.
So we're down. We're definitely down to 4. 3 big guns at the front, as we'd expect. So are we in for a magnificent last lap? It's now what we can see happen, whether we get a break. Does the course, as I called it, does the course decide our winner, which hasn't happened all day, having called it early, because we've had such close finishes. So I'm surprised we've got the packs that we have, and we're in for a treat. Enjoy it out there, because this is phenomenal front running from some of the best athletes in the world.
These are some of the best athletes of all time coming down this straight here. Cheptegei out in front. So this is the last lap for the men's senior cross-country championships. Cheptegei in the lead. Camera right behind him. Kip Limo and Aragawi. Can Aragawi get up onto the podium and break up the top 3 from last time? It's almost going to be a 2,000-metre sprint finish on this whole last lap.
They're looking around, checking each other out. We're not quite, haven't decided the medals yet, so we've still got 4 doesn't go into 3, so we're still on. Aragawi closes that gap. You sense he's working harder than the others, but he's still certainly there.
Well, he's got himself stuck behind 3 of the best cross-country runners we've seen in a very long time, so he's got a lot of work to do. But he's holding his own at the moment. They get through those bark chips. Camera just slipping a little bit as he get over the top. You can see this is a completely different race to our other ones. Cheptegei flying on those downhills. Kip Limo just flies across there. He's making sure they're all around. Amari hasn't dropped off too much. Quizera as well. Solomon Baregi, you can't forget him. Tuame, Sarway as well in the picture. This is a long run for home.
They're going harder early, so this is, whilst we will see a sprint finish, they're sprinting now. This is significant. They are working so hard through this. I think they know this section of the course is where they can make a winning run for home.
Yeah, a lot can happen here. They're getting close to 1 kilometre to go. It's Kip Limo now has made the lead. He was second in Aarhus behind his teammate Cheptegei. Can he turn the tables? Aragawi might have just got in front of Campeonato, the winner in 2015 and 2017. But Kip Limo looks good.
He looks great. He looks fantastic. Here we go. How does he negotiate the mud of the Billabong? He is through walking on mud. Well, walking on water. Looking great.
I think that's a sigh of relief from a lot of those athletes to get through the Billabong in this last section here especially. Aragawi has made some big moves. It's get up onto the shoulder of Cheptegei as they pass a couple of the lapped runners. Campeonato takes a look behind him. He might be getting left behind up this top part of the boomerang. And Aragawi gets up past the reigning champion Cheptegei as Kip Limo gets to the top of the Billabong and works his way down to the vineyard.
Yeah, I think Kip Limo's away. That's a decisive gap. Great running on that tough part of the course. You hope he wins because he has put it to the best runners in the world on the tough part of the course here in Bathurst, and he's stolen a march. It's really now. Can he really push home? He doesn't want to sprint. He wants to enjoy the run into the finish, Matt. Can he make a winning break here? Look at that gap.
That is opening up. He won the Under-20 Championships in 2017 in his home country in Kampala in Uganda. He was second in Aarhus. Can he get up? He's only a few hundred metres away from the finish, and this is the tough section. He's got all the running ahead of him, though. Aragawi from Ethiopia in second, and Cheptegei, he hasn't gone away just yet.
He looks great, Limo, and Aragawi, not the greatest arm action, but he's doing the business at the moment. He looks back as well, has a cheeky look just to see where Cheptegei is, because he says, I think I've got Cheptegei.
Well, when you've got the reigning champion just behind you, you've got to make sure they're still there where they're going.
Respect him, but put him to the sword.
So when they come out through this top chute, it's going to be about 630 metres left to go. They should get it done before the lightning comes in and the storm rolls over Mount Panorama. But Kip Limo takes a look over his shoulder.
He's out of sight line. He's got that break. When you get that out of sight line, left and right turn, he is away.
There's a little smile on the face, I reckon, as he comes down.
Is that a grimace or is that a smile?
I don't know. It's a little half and half, but he's looking good. He's streaking away from the field down this section.
And our Ugandan supporters on the course giving him a rousing reception back here. It's his race to lose now as he motors his way down to that hairpin bend and through the chicane.
So Jacob Kiplimo is about 400 metres left in this race. Gets around the hairpin corner, takes a look up. He has got a big lead back to Aragawi. Can Cheptegei close that gap and get a Ugandan 1-2 again? Cam Rewards not out of the podium yet, though. The athletes are just moving out of the way for Jacob Kiplimo as he's tearing up through.
He is ripping this course apart, making this tough course look easy. How strong is he running into the finish? That's a style and a run from a champion.
So he's been at the top of the podium in the under-20s. He's finished second in the open race. The men's senior takes one last look behind him, and he's going to head for home down the finishing straight. Uganda are going to go back-to-back, but it's not Joshua Cheptegei, it's Jacob Kiplimo. He salutes the crowd, raises the arms out. He's going to soak up this finishing straight. Aragawi comes around. He points to his fans. Jacob Kiplimo, he's going to be the king of the mountain in Mount Panorama, and he's going to take out the title. Aragawi's going to take second, but Jacob Kiplimo does it. 29-16. Aragawi's going to finish in second. A fantastic effort from the Ethiopian. And bronze medal's not wrapped up just yet. There's going to be Joshua Cheptegei, the reigning champ. He'll finish back onto the podium. Camera, it's the first time he hasn't finished on the podium for quite some time as a massive flash of lightning comes across Mount Panorama.
Perfect timing.
Unbelievable.
From a lightning run from Kiplimo here at Bathurst. We're seeing it's all happening. Spectators are running as quick as the athletes now.
So Candy comes across the line next, and I reckon this might be the medal, the team's gold medal here with Camera Candy. Then it's Abenyo and Sawe. Kuzera gets right up the top, and 4 Ethiopians across the line, but I think it might be enough. Amare, that's a massive finish from Amare. Tuame there, Debelli and Barega. But I reckon Kenya's done the team medal there as well.
I know you're good on the maths on the team's event, so we'll call you in. Matt. Good pack running there from the...
Kip Limo straight to the selfies. He looks fresh.
He looked great, didn't he? And isn't it great when someone can enjoy the finishes he did running in like that? So
That was definitely, now that I think about it, that was a smile.
that was a smile.
I think
You
it was
were
a
right.
smile.
You've got it all day. I should never have doubted you, Matt.
And I reckon Uganda might have done enough to get up into the bronze medal. That's a great finish from Michelle from South Africa there. Samuel now getting in across the line from Eritrea. The next of the Ugandans coming across.
Ugandans have been great today. They've
Two Burundian athletes.
seen them, and they're on their way into world.
Here's Emmanuel
world
Ball
events.
coming through the line next.
American. Yeah,
First of the
there's
Spaniards,
Australians
and the first of the Australians as well, coming across the line. Might get himself into
Robinson,
top.
I think.
It will be. He should get himself 22nd.
He's pumped,
Absolutely pumped.
rightly so.
There's the Tanzanians now, Jack Rayner. He'll be next across the line as well. So a couple of Australians in that first bunch. Robinson 23rd. So best was Brett Robinson.
Yep.
Speaking of Brett Robinson, he's next across. Samuel Coubet, Robinson,
Andy
Emmanuel
Buchanan.
Ball there, Buchanan.
Good. So I think the Australians have run well. I think we've packed well.
So it's actually Samuel Chalanga who was way out there in that first position. Liam Adams, their first of our golden ticket runners.
Yep, after backing up. We
He
know
ran
he's
6
tough.
Ks yesterday.
Yeah, we knew he was tough, we know, and that's even tougher today.
And he's finished at least in the
Rory
top
Hunter,
40.
Yeah, top 40, that's massive. Liam loves his cross-country, tough.
First of our Ghanaians
Tough
across the line. So the Ghana actually landed in Sydney at 6 a.m. this morning.
Right, big day.
Got on the bus, out to Bathurst.
Is that right?
And if you
Gee,
think if you landed in Sydney, they probably got the red eye from Perth
to get here,
to get to Sydney at 6 a.m. to then get on a bus to straight out here, and he's finished in the top 50.
I reckon, sleep well tonight.
41st, William Mponsa. Fantastic running there. Andre Waring, he actually won the golden ticket race yesterday, but then
Got the
there was
call
a
up.
pull out. He got called up as well, so he's run 16 Ks in 2 days on this course.
Matty Ramsden's replacement, so
Yep.
that's a terrific result. Great experience for Andre. Coach
Dale
Steve
Jessen.
Deneen will be delighted. He's out on the course this morning.
Absolutely. It's actually kind of cold right now.
It is almost cold. Where's the jackets?
I think I don't know if I packed one, but I need to find one.
It's about to get wet, but so it will be. It's cold now. We've got away with it. I think we have had some amazing racing here on what is just a superlative course. If you haven't enjoyed it at home, you are hard to please, because we have had some magnificent racing here on the slopes of Mount Panorama at Bathurst. We've put on a show for you today. Australia have done, this is the first time in Australia, and we are so proud to bring it to you, and I reckon it's been a fantastic event.
Look, I'm going to put it out there. 50 years of world cross country, best course. Hardest course I've had.
Not that we're biased.
Very biased. Of course, of course.
We're allowed to be. As we take a breath from some amazing racing, lots of runners crossing the line.
So it's a fantastic race there. We saw Jake Limo take the win. Well, let's check out the highlights of the men's senior 10,000. 122 athletes towed the line here in the men's senior cross country. Quebec first into the billabong and nearly took a spill.
Yeah, it was pretty ugly through there the first time. They sorted it out. They got better, I think. They needed a bit of practice.
They did. We saw
challenging.
Cheptegei take really wide turns, because what we said, you need to be running straight before you hit the mud. If you're trying to still turn around the corner on the mud,
it's going to bring you undone.
You're going to spill. But Cheptegei, we thought when he got to the front here that he was going to take control of it. Campeonato followed him out. But the big surprise is Aragawe. He minded his own business the whole race and really made that move at the end. And Kip Limo, once they got through that turn at the top, he made a massive move in that last lap.
Yeah, and that's where that was a winning break, and I'm so delighted that we saw that. The course used to the advantage. Kip Limo knew that was the tough part of the course, got away and was never going to be caught.
So many
There it
moves
is.
were made at the start of the boomerang turn out of the billabong.
Yeah, and that was a significant part of the course, and a winning break, and he could enjoy that run into the finish line, and didn't he ever?
So I think the king of the mountain is Jacob Kiblimo.
Today,
There he
Uganda, absolutely.
Aragawi, the silver medalist, and Joshua Cheptegei gets back onto the podium after winning in 2019. He takes the bronze medal. Some fantastic finishes there as well. So it is actually time to get out of the mountain. So thank you, Steve Monteghetti. Thank you, Tams and Manu. There is a lot of lightning in the air, so we do have to shut this down. But thank you for tuning in to the 2023 World Athletics Cross Country Championships from Bathurst, Australia. My name is Matt Lynch, and hopefully we see you again at a World Athletics event in Australia soon.